Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the multiverse, here in a mother's basement are the most powerful forces of nerdiness ever assembled. Lorenzo, Adam, Todd, and their space monkey Gleek. Their mission to fight Snyderbots, enjoy comics, and educate all of mankind with Culture Shock's newest podcast, The DC Guys. Even
You're singing Indiana Jones.
What are you singing?
I was gonna do Superman the Animated Series.
So I don't know that on top of my head. Okay. Now do Batman. Brave and the Bold. The Flash.
Oh wait, no, it's
Wonder Woman.
Or no, I'm more of the.
Superman.
Which Superman?
Movie. Okay, I'm good.
Welcome back to the DC Guys! I'm your host, Lorenzo Gretsch, and seated with me, as always, for the special episode 2 is...
Adam Chevalier.
And...
Todd.
Wow, that was very anticlimactic. I thought that was more of a elbow.
I'm also watching the computer, making sure everything's getting recorded.
Is your volume thing supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woohoo! That is so it doesn't echo.
Yes, okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome show for you today. We have an awesome episode.
More organized.
Yeah, more organized. We're talking books of the week this week, which is The Question, Justice League Unlimited, Absolute Wonder Woman 2, and Superman issue, is it 20?
Yeah,
Yep.
20.
Yep.
Yeah, 20, 21, 22.
Also, in the headlines, last time we were here, we didn't talk about it, is Sergeant Rock movie in development? Question mark?
Can you say there's a question?
Alan Tudyk just getting the DC payroll with multiple voices. James Gunn, what do we want from the Superman DC trailer? And then Courage Commandos. They showed the first
Should have clip.
seconds yesterday.
Yeah, very reminded me. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Let's see this. Anything interesting happen in the world of DC lately? Just DC Comics before we actually get into the books.
I mean, outside of Sergeant Rock and Alan Tudyk, you know, been busy week, yeah. Peacemaker finished.
Peacemaker finished, and they also announced the cinematographer for Supergirl.
Yeah,
they did.
He did Civil War. Is it Ex Machina?
Yes, yeah, Ex Machina.
And then there's one more movie he did that looked really colorful and beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is what they need for a Supergirl because it takes place on a different planet.
Yeah. Well, supposedly, we don't know.
Supposedly, but they said they're adapting it as Woman of Tomorrow. Which that will be a future episode.
Yeah.
To talk about
Yeah, I finally sat down. I actually read it. I really do enjoy it. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do.
What keeps happening?
What?
Tom King keeps getting online because they're talking about lanterns, which will be another future episode. Yeah. They have all these cool alien characters, yet we're getting human characters in lanterns. Well, who's to say we're only getting human characters?
And you want to know something?
And you also have to remember too, it's a TV show budget.
Here's my thing. Here's
they could do it. It's not that hard. But
my thing is that we don't really know the story. For all we know, it could be alien crash lands on Earth.
Yeah.
And Hal and John have to go in there and figure out what the bleep's going on.
Remember,
you know,
it's still an Earth mystery. Okay, you found it.
Yep. Okay, so his name is Rob Hardy, and he's done Mission Impossible, Fallout, Civil War, Annihilation, Ex Machina, and the Devs.
No, which one? Devs.
Devs.
No idea what that is.
Yeah, I never heard of it either.
Yeah, but Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Beautiful looking film.
Civil War?
It's the A24 film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one.
too.
And then Annihilation. Yeah.
But
This
it's kind of the big thing that happened today.
this guy will kill it with
Oh, yeah.
Supergirl filming.
Mhm.
And then I mean it's just a rumor. It's just a small rumor, but we were talking about it that there possibly might be a reboot comic book series of Batman and
Yep, Superman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Going back to number
One.
one, yeah. I
Which
don't know how I
I've been
feel about
saying
it.
That's what a certain competitor should do
Yeah.
with their main 616
Yeah.
unnamed comic.
So
But
this is how I always generally feel about when you go back to a number one or you're going to reboot a series. If you're going to reboot, go all in on it
Yeah.
and just be like, you know what? We're going to start from the very beginning. We're not going to pick and choose what we want. Like, I really hated the New 52, and it's like, yeah, since the Killing Joke is a hit, we're going to make sure all the events in the Killing Joke make sense. Or we're going to put it in the universe.
oh my God! Time out. Before we get into that, because you mentioned something. Keep talking. My bad. The thought comes back.
So, I mean, like, I wish that would just be like, this is Batman, this is year one, maybe change it up a little bit. Maybe it's just like, it's not, he doesn't adopt to Grayson, he's just Nightwing's his partner.
Okay.
You know, maybe maybe it's Jason Todd as his first Robin.
I would love that.
You know, Nightwing, Batman, they're partners. Jason Todd's, the first Robin. Obviously shit hits the fan, like always. You keep certain elements, but you do something a little different.
Okay, so you mentioned New 52. That reminded me of something. Another big thing that happened this week is Watchmen Chapter 2 came out.
Oh, yes.
I heard something. You've seen it.
Yes.
You haven't seen it yet. I heard it teases something.
It teases. Don't tell me it teases the button.
No.
I heard they teased Doomsday Clock.
Not really.
I heard it was like a little tease or something.
Dude, Doomsday Clock.
Was it a post credit? Because I didn't notice anything.
Someone said it teased something that it was like they were gonna do Doomsday Clock as an animated movie to tie it still with the Watchmen.
Yeah. I mean, I would be okay with it if you change it up a little bit.
Yeah, you need to change the second half of Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
Up a little bit. It gets
slow.
it gets a little slow and
Yeah.
boring. The first half is phenomenal. It's Rorschach comes in the Batcave, eats Batman's pancakes.
Yeah.
They have fun with it. And then after you get to Firestorm in Russia.
Yeah.
And Professor Stein, it's just okay. And then also meanwhile, hey, Manhattan's chilling on the moon. Oh, hey, look, there's Guy Gardner. Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. Guy Gardner got wiped. He got smacked across his face. What do we do?
But that one I would love to see Dr. Manhattan kill Owlman.
Oh yeah.
Like they did in the book too. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'd be very excited for them to do it because again, maybe different medium could give me different ideas and maybe be better. But it's like, I hope that they also adapt other stories too. Like at the end of the day, give me Justice League, that Snyder run where they fight, the Dark Side Wars.
Well, I mean, we got that technically with that animated universe.
Yeah, that was
prior. It's Justice League War.
That was Justice League Dark Apocalypse. That was technically the whole Dark Side War.
Well, I want them to protect the baby, and Batman sits in the chair. He becomes everyone becomes that god.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
but that was the big thing that happened. I just want to ask you. I was like, they said Doomsday got teased, and I'm like, oh, you're really.
If I did, I missed it.
But who knows? It might just be people are saying like, oh, they can do Doomsday Clock now, so it's all canon and it's all connects to the same continuity.
But I mean, at the same time, that kind of bothers me a little bit because you just did Crisis on Infinite Earths, so technically there's only one Earth.
Yep, technically there is only.
So we're gonna retcon that.
Well, from what we were hearing, what that universe was, they were done with that little animated universe anyway. There's no more getting pumped into that Tomorrowverse or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you leave the question being like, I'm not going back to that regular Earth. That's going to be a lie. I'm staying here.
Yeah.
So you have evidence from a previous universe to probably set up some sort of... That could happen. That could do it.
Incursion almost.
Yeah. Can you just imagine it was the question that brought Dr. Manhattan to like the main... DC's universe. But yeah, talk about the question.
Speaking of the question, there we go. Let's just segue into another thing. One book. We're getting into books of the week now.
Hey everyone, look behind you. My first appearance of the question.
Oh, the Blue Beetle. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So speaking.
If anyone. First appearances up above these walls.
I'm turning the mic. Sorry. Speaking of the question, there's a book that came out for DC All In. I was a little interested in it once I saw the cover. I had to look up a little more, obviously, of who it was. I didn't know Renee Montoya is now the question. Mm-hmm. Till Todd tells me, he goes, "This book's good. You're gonna want to read it." So when I bought it, I bought the first issue without even thinking twice. I read it. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, this is where we're going. Yeah. Awesome first issue of The Question All Along the Watchtower. Let me look up who is currently writing it, because there's a lot of good story in it already for a first issue.
My thing is that I really hope this is a real mystery. I don't want them to, you figured out the murder within the second issue. Keep it a mystery. Give us clues.
All right. So it was written by Alex Segura? Yeah. I'll just read the quick synopsis. It says, Who watches the Watchtower? In the wake of absolute power, the Justice League Unlimited has created a haven for all heroes. But can they keep it secure? Enter Renee Montoya, reeling from an abrupt end to her time in Gotham and looking for a place to hang her hat. But the Trinity didn't bring her up to the Watchtower to relax. There's a dark threat bubbling underneath the surface, and only the Question and her her support team can stand a chance to figure out before it's too late. Basically, it's just a mystery of, hey,
something's going on.
We believe there's something already going on. Like, there's all these heroes now. It's not restricted to one base team of the Justice League, which we'll get to that soon with Justice League Unlimited. It's hey, we need there to be kind of this law and order on the Watchtower. You can't say no to this. This is our offer. And because you were fired and replaced with Vandal Savage. Yes, Vandal Savage. For people that have seen, DC's the first season of Legend of Tomorrow. I know the character. He's just a character always set throughout time. He's a time traveler.
He's an immortal time traveler, essentially.
And he essentially is working for Gotham PD now, which you think Batman would raise any questions about that?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you think he would be like, he'd tell Gordon or whoever's in charge, no. Like, why do you have this man on your police? Why is he even working on the police force? It's a huge, it's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions that they're asking the question. And she's all like, well, no, I don't know. And he's saying, just come on, I trust you, Montoya. Like, I've worked with you. You've worked alongside of me just as Batman for how many years now? Come help us. Even Wonder Woman's like, before you can say no, just let me show you what's actually happening. I mean, we only see Superman for 1 second in the issue, and he's like, "Hey, have fun, bye."
Yeah. My big thing, and this is what I'm very curious. Is what is the Question actually going to do? It's what's to say Superman's the one who goes evil? That's my only issue. It's okay, cool. You're head of security for the Watchtower. Mm-hmm. You have no powers.
She got a gun. She's Shadow.
I'm just looking at Lorenzo after saying I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Hey man, we don't question comic logic here. You know this.
Yes, but it's still there's still that
Kryptonite bullet.
The Kryptonite bullet. But okay, what are you gonna do about Captain Atom?
Well, he's already powerless right now.
Okay, he gets his powers back. Okay, who has his powers?
Well, that's what they're gonna figure out in a future series called The Atom.
You have Plastic Man, who's unkillable, who's now invisible. What's she gonna do about Plastic Man?
Then you also have Black Canary, who just has laser vision all of a sudden.
That's my only issue that I really have about it, but I love it, and I really hope they keep it as a mystery. I don't want them to be, issue 2, you find out who does it, like what they did with Heroes in Crisis. I figured out who murdered, the superheroes in the first issue. And I'm like, no, make this a mystery. Give me clues. Give me, I want this to be Sherlock Holmes style mystery.
adventurous, and there's clues. And you gotta figure out who did it.
I feel like we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time getting to that.
Yeah. I'm hoping with issue 2, that's what I'm hoping for, and I'm really hoping that it's not Airwave. For the love of God, I hope it's not Airwave, which we'll talk about that with Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah.
Coming up, do we want to just get right
Yeah,
into
let's get right into
Alright,
it. So
Justice League Unlimited, the new comic series written by Mark Waid and art by the amazing Dan Mora. As always, I'm gonna turn just the mic just so I can get picked up. Because last time I was quiet. I know people could hear me, but I want to be cut. I was really hyped when they announced this series. I texted both of these. I said, we're getting a new Justice League series after years of the Justice League. Black Adam saw them all die, but oh my god, that's the whole thing. Anyway, we're out of that Rebirth era and Dawn of DC era. We're in the new DC All-In, so it was time to bring back the Justice League. If you remember, they separated. Well, after the death, they separated because we're all always arguing constantly. So why are we even a team anymore?
Mm-hmm.
And then Waller came in with absolute power, took all their powers, and it's, hey, we were idiots for disbanding the Justice League. We kind of need to bring that back. So yeah, at the end of Absolute Power, which we recapped last episode, there's new Watchtower. It's a bigger Watchtower, aka where the question along the Watchtower is, she's called in to be the law and kind of sheriff of the Watchtower and just watch over everyone, which is really funny. Yeah. Basically, Justice League Unlimited sets up this new premises of there's no base roster anymore for the Justice League. I mean, there's a set base roster, but it's always going to be
someone different. Like,
yeah,
it's going to be Batman, and he's going to team up with wannabes.
Yeah, it's
Superman, and on his cape is Detective Chimp.
Yeah, it's so the whole premise is there's no restrictions. Anyone who's anyone and is a superhero in the DC universe is part of the Justice League. So like Booster Gold, Plastic Man,
wannabes,
Fire and Ice, the Robins,
Animal Man,
Blue Beetle, Jaime. The Titans are even Justice League members. There's no
all the teams are now merged into one.
But they're still called the Teen Titans or the Titans.
Like
but they're just all under the Justice League banner.
Yeah.
Which, yes. Dude, that should have always been it from the start.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it was Mark Waid who was the one to do it. To actually say, you know what? We're not having I'm not restricting myself on a roster of characters. I'm going to make it anyone who's anyone is on this team. Like you said, Wada Beast or Detective Chimp or even the Wonder Twins and the
Gleek.
Yeah, Gleek, yeah. Like, they're on this team somehow. Like, everyone fits on this team. Yeah. Whether you're a superhero with powers or you're just someone like the Question, who has no powers.
Who shouldn't be the sheriff of the Watchtower.
Yeah, who shouldn't be the sheriff. Sheriff of the Watchtower.
Adam's just looking at me. He's like, that's making kind of sense, but,
But anyway.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
It's the what is it from Falcon and the Winter Soldier? He's out of pocket, but he's right. It's like, he's out of line, but he's kind of right. Anyway. So the opening starts with, hey, we meet this new character called... Is he a new character?
That's a good question. It's Airwave.
Yeah, Airwave is...
When I first saw him, I thought he was Mirror Master.
I didn't know who he was until I saw his name. I'm like, alright, I don't know who Airwave is.
Yeah. But I
know like this opening.
I do. I like...
Yeah, you like the opening, so you can explain the whole Flash scenario opening.
So Airwave just comes in. He's like, "Oh man, I can't wait to meet the Justice League. Every Justice League member is like going on a mission. There were the Challengers, let's go. And there's Shazam, all of them there. And then here comes the Flash going, oh, you the new member? Let me give you a tour. Supersonic speed going, okay, here's a tour. Here's here. Okay, you've seen everything.
Yeah, here's the Phantom Zone, here's the cafeteria, here's the laboratory.
That is the greatest tour, and it probably took less than 5 seconds to go through.
And then, literally, as they're about to all introduce each other, it's, hey, the world's in danger. We already have to go. We know you're the new kid. You're coming on a mission with us. What?
No, he didn't. They didn't bring him.
He didn't go at first. They all just left.
They all just left, and then he's like, well... He was watching all the destruction. He's like, I want to go down there.
Oh yeah, also Red Tornado is like the Jarvis of the Watchtower, which is really cool. They're rebuilding his body, which is really funny.
I just think it's but Airwave's been here for a long time.
They just never
1942.
Okay, so he's not really new. They just haven't used him as much.
He's one of those, D-list heroes.
Now watch, he'll be part of the DC He'll be part of the DC Studios. airwave the show.
You know what? I'd be okay with that. You know, it's just,
Introduce the world to new characters. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they go down to what was the country they go to in Justice League Unlimited? Was it wasn't Guatemala? There's somewhere they go. Was it? I know it's Brazil or something. Like there's just like a massive fire, and it's the roster star of this book is already incredible.
They go to a country.
Yeah, they go to country in the south somewhere, like around the world. And the roster of the team is Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle, Black Lightning, and Star Sapphire.
Yeah.
Am I missing anyone?
I'm looking.
I don't think so.
That is a great roster for a team, by the way.
I love the fact that.
And the Flash, obviously.
Yeah.
Wally West, yeah.
I love the fact that Black Lightning is a senior member.
Yeah.
That is training people. He's like, this is the crap you have to go through.
Yeah, because even in his book, he's kind of doing. I read his new issue for All-In. It was okay. I didn't think it was bad. I was just, alright, it's really slow for a first issue. And I guess him being like, because he still is principal of his school. He's still the principal. And he's teaching everyone, like, hey, this is what happened in Absolute Power. When Waller tried taking over, like, you're going to experience loss, defeat. Here's how to overcome. Like you said, he's just a teacher now.
Yeah.
And he's taking that role as senior member, taking it serious, and it's like, all right, I'm going to teach this younger generation everything.
Or just new people in general. Yeah. I love that. I love the fact that Star Sapphire is new.
Yeah, she's a new member to the...
She's a new member and...
Not a new character. She's a new... We know she's been around, but she's never been on the the main
and she's
Justice
never
League
done
roster.
anything, never worked with a team, so she's being trained on these new missions. I love the fact that they're trying to figure out this new villain and, the wheels.
Yeah.
Because they were hard to destroy.
Yeah. Oh, and the best part about Star Sapphire is, which really made me love this first issue, is, her power is based around her with love. A soldier is critically wounded.
Yeah, I love that.
And they're like, well, does she... And he says something, and it's like... And then she's like, well, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's like his wife or something. His wife comes running up. She does something.
What happened was that they had to get... Airwave's like, I can help.
Yeah, that's when Airwave comes back.
They are introduced to Airwave's powers.
Yes, he can communicate through anything that has a airwave kind of communications,
so
like radio towers, phones, TVs,
And so I like that. Like, they pulled him in now, and guess what? They saved a life.
Yeah, they saved the life, and Star Sapphire was like, okay, I like working on a team now.
Yeah.
This is and I think she even asked, like, this is sort of like to be on this team and do something like this, and Black Lightning's like, yeah. It's a feel-good moment. It's the little things that when you actually do it, you feel good about it. And nearing the end of books, there really wasn't a lot in here for a first issue, but they got the basics. It was, we're getting back to the Justice League.
But I'm gonna say this, I hated the ending.
Was it you're talking about the prelude to the other book?
No, it's
the Airwave ending.
Airwave ending where I'm here, they're being so nice to me, but I have to kill them.
And it's like,
And like the thing that bothers me is just like, I think it'd be really bad. I think it's just better to not know that that's something you're planning.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden you're on issue 6, you're in love with this new character named Airwave, or I guess old character.
Yeah.
That, for the new readers. And all of a sudden he's like, kill Superman. Like, I'm just using that as my example.
Yeah.
Kill Superman. Holy crap. Like.
It will probably be that.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm expecting what's going to happen is what I'm worried about is maybe he kills somebody, realize what's going on, maybe able to bring him back. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Batman's like, yeah, I already knew that you were going to try to kill somebody. Like,
it's going to be a Batman moment. Yeah. It's going to be funny.
I think he's not going to kill anyone. I think he's going to be getting ready to kill someone. Someone's going to stop him.
And he's going to die.
And then all of a sudden, it's going to be Batman that's going to capture him and interrogate him. And we're going to find out that there's more, that there was a reason why he was sent here.
Yeah.
Because I really do think with him crying, saying, I have to kill, they're going to have to die. It's like, well, this just showed me that you don't want to kill him, that you're being forced to do this. So you're telling me you're probably like a wannabe superhero that no one listened to. And so you decided, okay, the only way to do this is join the villains. The villains are going to send are gonna send you to become a superhero, and then your mission is to kill the Justice League. That's your whole mission. But at the end, I really do think Airwave is going to try, but it's going to fail miserably.
You know, it'd be really interesting that you find out Airwave's gonna about to kill the guy, it doesn't do it. And you find out the mission was from Amanda Waller.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
It was her plan to be like, okay, I'm going to fail. Like, all the heroes have their powers back. I'm going to fail. Airwave, you owe me a favor. I'm probably not going to remember who you are at some point. I know I'm going to be defeated. Airwave, do me a favor. Go kill these guys. I'm hoping
it's Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
I really am. If it's Lex Luthor, I'm going to kind of be a little bit ticked because I'm like, all right, this is too damn predictable.
My problem with Lex Luthor is just like, I'd be upset because I like what they're doing with Lex Luthor currently.
Yeah.
I want it to be Amanda Waller because I never got she was a threat yet in Absolute Power.
Yeah.
I want her to be that threat. She needs to be a threat.
Well, right now she's locked away with Dreamer taking all.
And maybe that was her last mission before the events of Absolute.
The way I look at it is she always has a backup plan for her backup plan for her backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so Airwave could be her backup plan.
Yeah.
But talking about Lex Luthor,
we're not there yet. Let's talk about the
prelude. We're talking about the prelude that I didn't read.
Okay, so if you picked up Justice League Unlimited, they alerted everyone like, hey, it's also a prelude to Hush 2. Like, we're just throwing it in as like a quick little like, surprise, like thanks for bringing up Justice League. Here's your first look at Hush 2. And of course, it's Thomas Elliott back as Hush. Mm-hmm. Reeling from the events of the first Batman Hush. And it's just, now he just wants his revenge on everyone, including the Bat family. Which is really cool. And he has like little cutouts of everyone, like going like, hey, I want to pick this one off. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. They're dead. There, she's dead. Dead.
He's got a strategy of how he's gonna do it this time. To me, this just felt like a nice little post-credit scene after Justice League Unlimited. That's how I felt. Like, okay, you got a big comic book event now. Here's a little bit of what's been going on, and I've been really enjoying that with just all DC comics lately. Is there's little like post-credit scenes, and they're hyping up these new comic books. Like, did you read the Two-Face? Two-Face.
I looked through it. I didn't read it.
It looks interesting. It looks like he's back on the. It looks like he's on the DA, and he's doing.
It's got a cool art style.
Yeah, that's the thing that caught my attention was the interesting art style.
Like, I'll give it a pick up, or I'll give it a good look because I do think it looks really good. And like giving Two-Face a comic book, like all right, and it tells the origins again, and it's like a quick origin.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love that.
But let's talk about where that came from, which comic. It is Superman 20, which Todd is a big fan of how they're doing Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah, I love the fact that he's just like, he's brainwashed. He's not brainwashed. He's doesn't have memories of his past. But he knows his past. Like, he's seen it through the news, and he's just like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Like,
he just... And let's also talk about that Superman story, which, Lois still has powers, which I think it's next week. No, is it this week?
It's not this week coming up. It's the following week.
You see this. You get the Superwoman one shot of how she got it, what Supercorp is doing, which I'm super behind Superman. Which I gotta catch up a little bit and like.
All you have to really know is Superman has a company now.
Yeah,
given by Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
Lex Luthor has no memories. There you go.
Yeah, and now Lois Lane has powers all of a sudden,
Yeah.
but they never explained how she got him even after Absolute. Well,
that's why I'm kind of hoping is like they're. I hope it ties into Absolute.
Which they're saying it's going to.
Yeah.
Or Supercorp did something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to figure that out in the one shot and all that. But, it's, hey, we find out Doomsday is basically...
The Time Trapper.
Yeah, Time Trapper. He just controls time now all of a sudden. After just like, hey, Superman, you killed me multiple times. Yeah, I control time now. You just essentially evolved me into like the ultimate time being. And I just got sick of us killing each other. So I just watched us kill each other multiple times in the future.
So how about we, let bygones be bygones and be friends?
And
Bam.
And Superman's like, no, not at all. And he's like, yo,
sorry. Which really kind of upsets me with this. Like, if it was the Doomsday going, Doomsday, I would get that. But like, this Doomsday is intelligent.
It's very intelligent.
You know, he's having a conversation with Superman. Like, Superman should be like, I've seen enough crap going around in this multiverse. Like, let's talk.
But he doesn't trust him at all.
I wouldn't trust him either, but I would at least have a talk. Like, that's my thing. Instead, you're like, yeah, go away, bye. Hey, Parasite, come down here, help me stop this.
Yeah, here comes Parasite, and then here comes Doomsday, and Parasite, and
They just rips him in half.
It's like, holy crap, and then here comes Superman in berserk mode again. And the one thing I really liked about it was they tracked his whole body.
Vitals,
Because his vitals, because in the original comic book, that's actually how he died. He used so much of his body strength and energy, it literally killed him, even though the many times Doomsday stabbed him, cut him, all of it. It was, at the end, it was just him, like, out of breath, just like, I'm done. Bye. Dead.
I'm done.
But this time, they're like, Superman, stop. Yeah. Like, you need to stop now. Because he could have
died again.
And then,
and Doomsday could have died again.
Yeah.
Because that was the other big thing, because they wanted to make sure that Doomsday didn't die, because if he dies, he comes back even stronger.
Yeah.
Yep, and then they grab...
And they sedate him, they put him on lots of drugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of drugs.
They got him
so
back.
Much drugs.
Yep, they got him back locked up, and now what are they going to do with his body? That's the next question.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of Superman, let's move to the next big seller of the week, which, broke a lot of sales records.
Yeah.
Again, not surprised. It is Absolute Wonder Woman. Keeps breaking sales records, even though Absolute Batman is now the official best-selling book of 2024. Absolute Wonder Woman is right behind it.
Yeah.
Let's see where Superman goes this week coming up.
Yeah. Wonder Woman 2. Thoughts?
I just want to know what the hell Steve Rogers doing in hell.
You mean Steve Trevor?
Yeah. Steve Trevor.
Wow. Yeah, why is Steve Rogers in hell? Like, you know, I thought he was a good guy. No, Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor.
That would be a really interesting, off topic here for a moment, really interesting comic book crossover. Steve Trevor and Steve Rogers on a team.
Oh, yeah. World War.
Yeah. Just putting that out there, like, they have to go rescue Wonder Woman. It's like, I can't rescue the person that captured Wonder Woman. I need help. You know, can you send me someone, government? Yeah, we got the perfect guy.
It's Captain America.
You know.
Anyway, Steve Trevor gets lost in hell, and Wonder Woman's like, "Hey, you're a man."
It's the
same origin if you didn't know, but actually before even all that, she's fighting a bunch of like harbingers and monsters. And she's like, go back to where you came. Like, I don't want to kill all you. Like, Earth is under my protection and, like, humanity and all that. And that's when Steve Trevor walks in going, hi, Diana. Steve, oh my
God. You gotta go talk to the government. Yeah. They're gonna be complete assholes to you.
And she's like, I'm sure they'll be fairly understanding of a woman being here. I'm like,
just the line, like that next panel be like that guy just yelling at her in her face. What the? So Wonder Woman's like, I could punch you right now.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's like, listen, I get you're upset, but like, you can't beat this. Like, let's face reality for a second. Like, she literally tells the U.S. General, hey, without me, you can't beat this. So either let me help you, but if you get in my way, I will not hesitate to fight you back. And he's just kind of like, is that a threat? She goes, not really, but like, don't make me a threat. Like let's be real here. And they also mentioned that there is, I think this is the first mention now of, there's other heroes. So they kind of explain there is other heroes in this new Absolute year. This is the first time you were hearing of like, oh, okay, so they're all still in the same universe.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Now it's acknowledged that there is other heroes like the Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman. It's only just a matter of time till this general brings up the incident going down in Rio right now with Absolute Superman.
Yeah.
If it's anything, it'd be kind of cool. I'm hoping they'll do it is the way like they did with BVS with Lex Luthor with the whole, here's all these other meta-humans.
Yeah. We'll probably see something. They'll have to start teasing them a little bit.
I would love it to be Alfred.
That would be cool.
Alfred being like,
I'm here to talk to you about the Justice League
initiative or something like that. The thing that really shocked me about this book, and this is why I am now going to continue reading this book, is that last panel where she goes, the personification of death.
Yeah, and it's just the giant.
Yeah, it's that giant monster. It's just like, You guys are screwed.
Yeah. And he's like, wait a minute, I thought you said Miles. She goes, no, it's the whole city. Like, evacuate the whole city right now.
It's the personification of death.
Like, yeah, you guys are screwed. Like, her just laughing about it.
Here I go.
But yeah, it was a good book. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for issue 3 now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that this book keeps selling. I really thought this one was going to be a hard sell to people.
It almost was for me, because I didn't like the first issue. I tried very hard to like it.
Yeah, it's very slow, the first issue, but once you get to that where she merges out of hell with the Pegasus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the Pegasus, man.
Alright, yeah. Her Pegasus is named Pegasus. And even Steve Trevor's like, you named your Pegasus Pegasus? Well, yeah, how is he alive? Magic, but yeah, he was slain by just the gods, and I just brought him back.
I love the design. I can't wait for the toy.
Yeah, there's going to be, we're going to get McFarlane figures of all the absolute heroes and stuff, which is going to be really
hopefully
cool.
With
the X that
come off the chest.
We should look into doing that. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Or just make it like a separate toy.
Talking about the toys, we'll go off to this. I know it wasn't on our list, but I wanted to talk about this. McFarlane has announced a new line with autographs with the action figures. Jeff Johns, Tom King.
Interesting. Let me see if I can find it, because I didn't know that was actually a thing. McFarlane toys.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff Johns is having one with a Green Lantern.
I know he announced the cowl, but I didn't see.
He's got something new with the because he does like the DC logos now.
Yeah,
I love that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I thought about getting those.
He's doing a 2-pack for Flashpoint, Batman, and
that one has a sign.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
right there,
yeah, autograph series. Okay, that's what it's called. Yeah, this one has the autograph of
Jeff Johns, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a new thing that's going on too, and really excited to see the Thomas Wayne figure.
Oh yeah, they also announced the pre-order of the Batman, the Batwing from
Steam's huge
animated series. Yep, here's another one of. Yeah.
He got some digital ones too. He's doing the digital ones like Jim Lee.
Yep.
Then there's these ones with a frame animated production wrap.
Yeah. So funny enough, that figure has been made before with a Batman 4-pack. It had Alfred. This was the second time that Scarecrow. They for some reason never made a toy with that one.
The Riddler.
Riddler was literally used in a clip and in nighttime.
That's going to be a really interesting for photos.
Mm.
To have those cells behind them and things like that. Because when I do my display, sometimes, I have my first appearances with the figures that go with it. So that's going to be really interesting.
I will get the Batman one because it's got the cell in it. Because I've always wanted to own a Batman animated series cell so much and frame it and just go, aha!
Yeah. Alright, so that's wraps up the comic stuff.
Yeah, that's the comic stuff and the toy stuff.
Now, let's get into the movie stuff. Alright, a few weeks ago, while we were filming episode 1, it was announced Sergeant Rock is possibly in development. Is it Luca? What's the director's name? I don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't know. Butcher wrong.
That is a very good question. I know it's
Luca
Guadagnino. Okay, yeah, I was say that's the best. I'm gonna get close. And also, Daniel Craig might play Sergeant Rock. And when people asked Gunn about it, the thing he's been very active on, I know some people have told him to stay off social media.
Yeah.
No, he should fully be on social media answering these questions, because again, it comes down to production weekly might be wrong. Yeah. Nothing is going into production. If anything, it's all pre-production. Then it goes into production. And someone also brought up the fact, like, hey, if you're not running, someone asked him, so you're running this like Marvel Studios? No, I'm not running like Marvel Studios. He told someone, like, we're only gonna do, I'll announce projects, he goes, but I'm not giving dates or saying like it's officially coming out because it might change. I might change my mind on stuff. Like Authority being one. They might do an animated movie now for Authority. Theatrical release. And I'm like, okay. Animated theatrical movie besides Dynamic Duo. Authority? Okay, I see it. Creature Commandos animated series. It's going to be a lot of animation and live action, I feel like, which is going to be fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. I feel like with the Authority being animated, you have way more creative freedom, and you can still make it R and it be fine, or PG-13, But anyway, to Sergeant Rock. It's a character people don't know about. I mean, I kind of had to look him up a little bit. Yeah, he's a World War II character, but he's a little more than that, too. It's a lot of war stories, which is really cool.
I'm curious to see what they're going to actually do. Is this going to be real Sergeant Rock, World War II? You know, he's going to come in there, defeat the Nazis, or is this going to be more fantasy element, where like the Bruce Campbell run, where Sergeant Rock was beating up zombie Nazis? You know, is this going to be more of a team up with GI?
Yeah, Robot. Yes, one of the characters who was in Creature Commandos is GI Robot, which I'm super excited for him all.
I'm really looking forward to with the Creature Commandos, because with the GI Robot, I wonder if they'll tease Sergeant Rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're going to. This is James Gunn we're talking about. He's gonna pull the ball. He's probably gonna tease the haunted tank. Okay. And I love the haunted tank.
What is the haunted tank? I don't know, but explain for the audience.
The haunted tank is a possessed tank from every general in American war.
Jesus.
That's hilarious. That has to be the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yes. And I know I have the first appearance somewhere up in this wall. It is amazingly dumb. But yeah, it's just a ghost that possesses a tank.
Oh, there's another tease too we might get in Creature Commandos with the GI Robot origin and episode tale. There's a character called Apache Chief.
Oh yeah.
And if you've seen one of the shots Gunn put up, it was from Peacemaker season 2. There's a little campfire in like the middle of the forest, it looks like, and there's a guy sitting there crossing his legs, and he goes, well, "Who's this now?" Like joking. So I'm thinking there's gonna be a lot of character teases that we're gonna see. And this is the thing where we were talking about this earlier, or I was talking about this to someone, is Marvel likes to tease characters and then not show them until like 5 or however many years, 7 years later.
Yeah.
I feel like Gunn is gonna do it right, because guess what? He also remember, he's CEO. At the end of the day, he is co-CEO of DC Studios now. They don't have to answer to Warner Brothers. They don't have to answer to any suits. When you hear, oh, the studio doesn't like the trailer. First of all, they're not talking about Warner Brothers Pictures, not talking about Warner Brothers Films, not talking about Zaslav, nothing. The studio is James Gunn himself and Peter Safran. So if you hear a studio doesn't like Superman, no, he doesn't like it. He wants to perfect it for the audience and make it the best thing it can be. That's where that comes from. Because when Todd sent me something, and sent me something like, oh, the studio doesn't like it. I'm like, you guys know DC Studios is a whole separate studio entity, right? Like,
no, it's funny because all of a sudden like the stupid crap like that, and I'm like, I know it's fake.
Yeah.
But I find it funny that like, here comes the Snyder bots coming in here.
Yeah, and their like whole thing is, and it was announced today, too. Funny enough, I guess there's gonna be a hard sex scene between Rick Flag Sr. and the princess. But then I've also heard they have to kill the princess.
That makes
or save her or kill her. I don't know, so I don't know what's true. And all the Snyder bots are going, oh yeah, James Gunn, a real family friendly series here. It's like, first of all, he never said this one was family friendly.
Yeah.
He said Superman is family friendly. That's the family.
And not
movie.
even that family friendly either.
Yeah.
I don't expect a hardcore sex scene in my Superman movie. Because we all know what happened to Lois Lane.
Yeah.
But,
You also all have to remember, too, Zack Snyder put a hard sex scene in Twilight of the Gods, and Loki constantly changes gender every 5 seconds. I haven't seen it, but I saw someone put it up, and I was like, I guess it's pretty funny.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, so it's also, too, it's adult animation. It is a rated R show. They're on a streaming for a reason. It's on a streaming service.
Why are people upset it's not family friendly? The Suicide Squad wasn't family friendly.
No.
Peacemaker's definitely not family
friendly.
friendly.
It's because you want to know why? They don't like James Gunn.
Yeah. I know.
They don't. And Grace Randolph. Oh, she had some saying the other day. Pardon some language here. She goes, oh, Gunn's little bitches don't know when to shut up. It's like, alright, first of all, you hate this man.
Oh, yeah.
You're completely unbiased towards DC. You literally called, who's the Mr. Terrific actor? Is it Edie something?
Pull it up.
And he's a really good actor if you watch. I know you don't like it that much. I like X-Men First Class. I think he's fun in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of fun in that one.
Was he Darwin?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the guy who plays Darwin.
Really?
The character they ruined.
Yeah. What is the joke of, oh, they killed the one unkillable? Oh, Eid Gathahi? I'm say if I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. But she said he wasn't hot enough or he wasn't ripped, and it was like a older photo of him, and she said something about black power, and I'm like, oh, do not. You are a white blonde woman. Do not mention black power, especially when you're talking about a black character and a black superhero character. That is the rules. You do not mention or talk about.
That's an old photo. That's an old photo.
But then he posted after she said it. Fans were telling him, and guess what? He posted a photo of him just going ripped, going, "Oh, am I still skinny?" And did she want to throw a fit? Because she doesn't like James Gunn because she tried to say something about the DC universe, and James Gunn said something like, "Oh, mother loves her child. The Earth spins around the sun." But everything Grace Randolph says is bullshit. Like, and he's roasted a lot of people on social media. One was Den of Nerds. Like he told them, "Wow, you still live in your mother's basement."
I love James Gunn when he did that.
Everyone got mad at him for doing that. And it's like, listen, you guys constantly bug him and harass him. You think he's not gonna fight back? He runs the studio.
He runs the studio.
What is he gonna get himself trouble?
He's the biggest nerd. He's gonna run. He's gonna make fun of nerds that are bad mouthing him.
He's the guy. He's gonna drive down the street and yell, roll down the window, yell out the word nerd.
He's gonna pull the Simpsons, the nerd in the parking lot, and he is a big nerd.
Yeah.
And I love James Gunn's passion because the way he talks about a lot of. You can tell the difference from when he worked at Marvel and Disney to now working with DC and Warner Brothers is Marvel and Disney had the weirdest restrictions with movies. Mm-hmm. I feel like it didn't limit him. He couldn't do what he wanted because you have to follow that Marvel formula, that Marvel pattern. You have to do it this way. I mean, yes, they gave him freedom when it came to the holiday special, when it came to a little bit of Volume 2 and a lot of Volume 3. But Volume 1 was... You had to follow that formula, which worked.
Yeah,
it worked. Guardians became a household name. He made money, but you could tell also when he worked on the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, he had way more freedom. Zaslav and Co. gave him the freedom he wanted.
Yeah, I feel like if Disney was in charge of the Suicide Squad, we wouldn't have gotten Polka Dot Man.
We wouldn't have gotten Starro.
More than likely, we wouldn't have Starro.
No, we would not even gotten Peacemaker.
We wouldn't have gotten
Peacemaker.
Weasel.
Yeah, definitely Weasel.
We
wouldn't have that opening scene.
No, we wouldn't have any of that. That if Disney was in charge of that, it would have been like a whole cast. They would have probably had thrown the Joker in it at one point. Yeah. They would have thrown Lex Luthor.
I want to say that. I wouldn't go that far. Because, I mean, Disney does give their directors some sort of control.
But what they want to do is
now I heard it's like they're even more strict right now. I heard Feige is becoming.
Eternals.
And I also heard Sam Raimi and him butted heads a few times.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that
because Feige kept saying, "Oh, tone down the scariness," and he's like, "Feige, I got this. I know what I'm doing. Why are you watching me the whole time?"
Yeah.
When you should have been watching, I hate to say it, you should have been watching Taika Waititi more closer on Thor: Love and Thunder. You should have been watching the Marvels more carefully.
Chloe Zhao on Eternals. I don't think they watched that at all.
Yeah, I think it's also too she was an Oscar-winning director, so it's like, oh, we don't have to watch you. You're not. It's like, no, you should still watch that.
See, I think the big problem that comes down to is just. The scripts needed to be more polished with those projects.
That brings up the other issue. When Gunn said, "Oh, why are you announcing?" That backtracks to why I said, if him announcing projects, stuff could change. He's not giving definitive dates.
Yeah.
He's just saying, "Okay, this is something we're interested in making."
Here's the list of everything that we are planning.
He keeps talking about Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Swamp Thing is going into production, whether or not it's still James Mangold.
Yeah.
He wants to do Swamp Thing.
I think the way I look at it is he has this big vision. Here's the list of everything that we need to do to make this vision possible.
Also, too, and people have to realize this, when you're ahead of a studio and you have your parent company studio, like Warner Brothers, you have to have a draft of a plan of what you're going to do for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So when they hired him on, and I tell people this is a true story, I've heard him talk about it on the Inside of You podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, which, hey, Michael Rosenbaum, I like your stuff. If you're ever here, I'm giving you credit on comicbook.com and all them that used your quote the other day. Gunn was saying, you have to draft a plan.
Yeah.
They need to see that they can invest in this and it's going to be okay. So, Creature Commandos. Like he said, was supposed to be part of the DCEU. Mm-hmm. But then he had to rework it a little bit and rewrite it to just start the DCU. And a lot of the times, too, was they asked him multiple times for Superman. He didn't want to do Superman right away. He, like you said, he wanted to do the Suicide Squad first. He likes working with the obscure, not popular.
Well, they asked him, "What do you want to do?" Like they pushed him to like, "Hey, do Superman for us." It's like, but we're gonna let you do whatever the heck you want to do.
Yeah, and he said Suicide Squad, and they go, "Really? Like we're giving you Superman. you don't want to do Superman?" No.
He wants to do Suicide.
I want to do Suicide Squad. He goes, I think because he said, too, that's where I'll have the most creative freedom. But also, too, he told me, he was like, I didn't have a story for Superman. He's like, But also, too, deep cut, if you're on Threads and you watch what he says, he also said, too, that his Superman originally wasn't even going to connect to the DCU. It was going to be a reboot in general. So, again, when you're running a comic book studio or any studio, investors want to know what your game plan is. Like, you have to have, like, at least a bit of a plan. Like, and here's the thing. We don't even know fully still all of Chapter 1. Yeah. It was only 8 projects that were Chapter 1. Yeah. It could be, like, a few more projects are Chapter 1 of Gods and Monsters. We don't know what that entails. Yeah. It's really limitless on... Or he can do what he wants. And I will tell people this, and I've been telling people this, I fully trust him. He's the right guy to run that studio. I don't think Snyder at the time, I don't think Jeff Johns at the time, I don't think they were ready.
I think with Jeff Johns had an ego problem.
He was trying to push his stuff.
Snyder had an idea, but it wasn't the idea of what the audience really wanted.
And it was also Jeff Johns didn't know what he was doing too. And it was a lot of, we're not communicating.
The big issue is that when you want to make a superhero movie, if it's with a big studio or if it's independent or whatever, you got to make sure that you're not just about Batman. You're looking at the whole mythology of Batman. Like, you're not afraid to sit there and reference Batmite.
And that's the thing. He referenced Batmite in Peacemaker.
You know,
a show that doesn't even have anything to do with Batman. They said Batmite, and Peacemaker goes, "Who's Batmite?"
You know, you would never see that with a Snyder movie because either A, he doesn't have the knowledge of who that character is, or B, he feels like no one's going to care.
Or it's the studio going, "Oh, well, these characters aren't popular." Yeah. Which, again, why I say he's the best guy for this job. He got you to go see Guardians of the Galaxy.
He got you to fall in love with a tree.
And this is what I tell people too. They're like, "Well, no, it was already established in the MCU." I go, only if you deep read comics or if you played, and here's the example I used, if you played the first Lego Marvel superheroes, they show up at the end. They're literally a post-credit scene on a Lego game. And that's all I knew about them because they were so different from their comic counterparts. Because he goes, you know what? Their comic counterparts are kind of boring. I want to make them like original, have more fun with it. That's what he did. I mean, it was Nicole Perlman's script, but then he came in there and fixed it all up and, polished it up. Which, again, issue of he's not going to throw anything into production until the script is perfect. Again, Superman.
I like that.
And the thing with Superman was people are asking, oh, hopefully reshoots don't ruin it. He already said he's not doing reshoots. Yes. He said he's gotten everything was down to a T and everything was perfect.
He's on his second screening right now. His second test
It's happening tonight.
Yes, I know.
It's tonight. Well, by the time you watch this episode, it's going to be happening as of Sunday, December 1st. Yeah. And all the way in Los Angeles. He's hosting a screening.
I love the fact that he's like, we're just making sure this is done correctly right away. There's no reshoots, and I like that.
And Todd, I'm going to ask your opinion on this. I know we're getting a little off topic, but this is good. This is good conversation because this is you as you and your your writing partner Justin over there. When you guys write Power Rangers, are you guys making sure as an indie film and series creators, you want to make sure that script's perfect, right? That you don't have to go back and write it on the spot. You don't want to pull what Marvel Studios is doing and not having a script fully done, aka the Captain America problem. They keep having.
That's not just the scripts issue, and I'm going to interrupt you here because the problem with what's going on at Marvel is Marvel's not standing their ground on what the product they have. They are listening to the people with the test reactions, and they're like, well, people don't like the test reactions. I guess we have to come back here and reshoot this. Yeah. Rather than taking a bullet and going, hey, Sorry, guys. This is the product we're going to give you.
Yeah. Which, really, Superman isn't even a test screening. It's a screening.
Yeah.
They're getting to see a cut of a movie, and if, maybe a scene, he'll cut that scene out and keep it as it deletes it. He's not going and reshooting.
Or whatever, the special effects.
Yeah, special effects, But when it comes to, like, I bring you guys up an example because you guys have done, which everyone should go watch, is their Power Ranger series. I think it's really good. It's really funny. There's a lot of good lines they've written in there where I've been laughing at it for like an hour. Yeah. One line I can't really say on this podcast, but it's an opening of the episode, and Todd knows that I laughed because when I first heard it, I immediately almost pissed my pants. I was laughing so hard that day. And then they also doing a funny joke, like, post thing here, which I saw me and Adam, and we were even laughing at the joke. Like, it's just something funny like that. Like, if you want to reshoot something like that, like, that's fine. Yeah. But you guys made sure, your scripts were finished. You had your actors read them. Everyone knew what was going on. There wasn't no on the spot, hey, we're going to change this whole scene around and redo this. Yeah. It's, we have this idea, we have this vision, it's already complete, we see how it's done, let's film it and do it.
And that's how it should be done. And I that's one of the reasons why Marvel's having all these problems is because, A, they're listening to people and, they're not taking the bullet. Yeah. And who knows if it's actually bad, it could be a bunch of trolls. That's the other thing, too.
Yeah, it could be trolls. But the way he's saying is he wants a script to be perfect before it's greenlit. That he's not setting...
And that's how you should make a movie.
Yeah, and that he's not setting... He's not predating. Like, one example is Blade got 5 dates, and they never met that date. Like, we should have had that movie 2 years ago.
Yeah. You talking about Cat?
Blade.
We're talking about Blade that... And all the rumors is like, well... It's about Blade. It's about Blade's daughter. It's about this person or that person. This is the villain. That's the villain. And just like, and then you find out there's like 5 different scripts.
Just because they're following. Just because they're following fans, or they're following everyone.
They don't know what they want to do with this movie.
So
and it just keeps on the spot, just having to be changed. How many drafts there are of Blade? With Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, it comes to Raimi. He should have been the one to also write this movie. Yeah. I don't think it just should have been Michael Waldron, because guess what? I found out. There was 33 drafts of Doctor Strange.
That's insane, because Scott Derrickson was originally supposed to do
the second one. Then him and Feige and Marvel got into it. Because, you can't make it too scary.
What I really like about James Gunn is because...
I think Gunn has also said too... Sorry. I was going to get to that and then I stopped. Here.
You're good. No, go ahead.
I think he only did maybe 3 drafts of Superman. Mm-hmm. And he showed it, his wife, his CEO Peter Safran, and a few people at Warner Brothers, and they're like, this is perfect. He's like, no, but I want to go make my own changes. And they're like, okay, well, this is perfect. We love it. And he wants to be satisfied. Yeah, he wants to be at that director writer on the same page. No one is, and then there's him giving the notes if they choose to follow the notes. If not, okay, go ahead.
Okay, what I like about James Gunn is that yes, the focus of Creature Commandos, Superman, Swamp Thing, that is fantastic, because he's actually focusing on other heroes. If it was ran by Warner Brothers, everything'd still be about fucking Batman. Oh yeah. I hate to say it, as much as I'm huge Batman lover that you guys know, we'd still be with Batman. We'd be on Batman would probably be out next year.
Yeah.
And they would rush it, and guess what we would have?
We
have a Joker 2 situation.
Yep. Yeah. Stage 1 again. Here we go again.
And I think the part that excites me about Creature Commandos, because we're saying like our thoughts on it, what we want out of it. It's a team I don't know about. Yeah. It's something I really don't know. It's like, this team exists? Okay. I want to watch this.
This is what I really want for Creature Commandos. I want little hints of just, like, what's going to happen in the DC studio. Like, I want to hear G.I. Robot talk about Sergeant Rock so bad, because now that tells me, okay, here's these little hints. We're going to be getting a movie about him. And then how cool would it be when we lead into Sergeant Rock? It's G.I. Robot talking to the Creature Commandos about him.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's what I want the Easter eggs to mean something at the end of the day. So, like, G.I. Robot mentions Sergeant Rock. Frankenstein mentions Shade.
Bride mentions Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah,
I would love Amanda and Rick Sr. talk about hints of Ultraman. Yeah. Like an Ultraman project.
I feel like we'll see that, or Project Ultra, or Omega, whatever.
Or just, we're going to have Clayface. Mm-hmm. Like, lead into that once that Clayface is done. Lead into, there's Cersei's is one of the villains,
I went to comic shop. Another comic shop, not the one we all go to. I mean, I guess I could say it.
You traitor!
State
No,
of
I'm just
Comics.
kidding.
I went over there with Kyle.
Oh, you're good.
For a second.
Traitor! No,
Actually, they were
still...
calling me a traitor for going to comics. So I'm kind of like in the weird middle of it. But anyway.
It's normal. Welcome to my life.
Anyway, I was sitting there with the owner. We were talking, and he goes, "Oh, I want there to be a Dark Side post-credit scene already." I said, "No, it's too early to already start doing Dark Side." He goes, "We'll just show him other villains." I said, "No. You all saw how they try to do Dark Side. There's other villains." I go, "Let Mongo be that big, cool threat. Or Brainiac. Someone else." I go, "Not everything is about Dark Side."
What I would love about when Justice League gets announced, and I want Starro back.
Yeah.
Because Starro was like
the
the first villain of the Justice League of America. That was the shot. It was like Fantastic Four. It was like what Justice League America did first for Fantastic Four did, but it was like, here's the Justice League fighting a gigantic starfish.
Imagine it being. It's the mother of the starfish from the Suicide Squad.
Whoa!
And she brings an army going, "You killed my kid."
And then they do the whole. Whoa!
So it's now confirmed. If people have watched Adult Swim last night, they got the first look at the Creature Commandos. Did you watch the clip?
Yep.
Did you watch the clip?
No, because I was gonna watch it because we were gonna film it. You said so. I was like, I'll watch it live.
Okay, well I'll just talk about it.
You can go ahead.
The Suicide Squad is canon.
Yep.
Because they're all sitting on like the little carrier, and the one freaking out is Alright, we'll get to that. Well, I don't want to say too much, but the one freaking out on the carrier is Weasel, and Dr. Phosphorus goes, "Hey, is he okay?" And Rick Flag Sr. is like, "No, last time he was on one of these, it didn't go as well as we thought." And it's referencing he did get killed in the Suicide Squad for that brief second, and he came back to life.
I am curious to see what James Gunn is going to pick from the previous universe, and what he's going to bring over to this universe. Like, clearly, you're not gonna have anything from Man of Steel, but like, I'm still kind of curious. Like, what about Black Adam? Because those characters.
So he did say Dwayne wasn't out. There just wasn't a time or a story he wanted to do with this chapter for Black Adam. Even The Rock said that too. He goes, "I love James Gunn. I love his passion." He goes, and we agreed. Now it's not the time to do another Black Adam. But he goes, "I still want to play this character." And James was like, "We'll talk about that when we get there with Black Adam. What do we want to do with him?"
Even with all the social media stuff that Zachary Levi has been saying and doing a lot, I really hope he continues as Shazam. Because I like him as Shazam a lot, and I feel like James Gunn's universe will really go well with his Shazam.
And here's the thing. That's what I tell people too. If you want an actor to play a character, cool. You have to dissociate from what they say on social media, what they talk about with their own personal views on life. You have to. And people are like, "Well, I can't." Well, you have to, or otherwise, in Hollywood, you're not going to go for it.
Yeah, you're not going to have anything.
Yeah, you're not going to have.
If we're gonna be upset with any actor that says something wrong, guess who's not gonna be Buzz Lightyear anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
The other character was on the list of a certain island.
Or
that stuff
James Gunn himself.
His tweets. You have to give people a second chance, and you have to be willing and open to work with those people. Which, Gunn's was just back then out of taste, out of jokes that didn't age.
So I want to talk about this.
Okay.
My thing with James Gunn in that tweet. First things first, Disney. You knew who you hired.
Yeah, you knew.
Like, you knew who he worked with. Beforehand, he worked for Troma Productions before he went and did Scooby-Doo and all like that. The Toxic Avenger, Romeo and Juliet, these are movies that are not, like...
Suitable for children.
These are the movies that they're going to make pedophile jokes. These are the type of movies that are going to be gross and disgusting and politically incorrect. Like, the stuff that people are going to be upset about.
Because wasn't that's the other one he did? What's the other superhero one he did?
Super.
Yeah.
Super.
Was that under Troma?
No, that was I think that was independent. And all the
Slither.
Yeah, he did
Slither. That was
Scooby Doo. I mean, I would love to read the originals draft of Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like, you knew who you hired. Why are you upset that he made a joke about a pedophile? Like,
He also did write for one of Zack Snyder's films, Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
Again, that's not really a child-friendly movie.
But it would be nice, Gunn, if Gunn has an idea or Snyder has an idea, and Gunn and Snyder pitches to Gunn, and Gunn actually goes, Yeah, why don't you do it?
I would love, because I know for a fact that James Gunn is leading into Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, if I was Gunn, that's where I'd be leading everything towards.
We have to make his universe the whole.
You have to make his universe whole. But just imagine, after these 10 movies, 8 movies, Snyder, come here.
Mm-hmm.
Justice League 2.
Yeah.
Cool? Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, get in your gravel. Cool. Post-credit scene, ending a little different. Like, he stops Darkseid again. Just like, then all of a sudden, Superman, Henry Cavill is he's the golden age Superman.
I guess there still is weird talks about, are they going to do this? Are they going to release this Ayer cut of Suicide Squad? That's more a drama focus than it was comedy.
There's two cuts that I know Warner Brothers has, and they keep figuring out they're going to do it. It's the Ayer cut, and then it is the Schumacher cut.
Yeah.
Because...
So, funny enough, I did hear, I guess Gunn has a say with the Ayer cut a little bit, but I heard he doesn't have a say with the Schumacher cut. That's Warner Brothers.
That's old vintage Warner Brothers.
I heard that's mainly Warner Brothers.
And
put it out.
Akia's Goldsman and Elliot, I guess, was getting ready to, because they were getting close to going yes to this movie, to this cut, and I guess Elliot had to go compose a couple of songs because it didn't enter the movie.
Yeah. My thing with the Schumacher cut, it'd be very interesting to see what that cut is like. Mm-hmm. I also know it's not finished. It was
never finished. There was only been one test screening. They said
it was Kevin Smith.
No. Oh, no. So this is back in 1995. Someone saw a screening, and it was just like the comic.
Yeah, that was Two-Face busts out.
Because the scene of Edward Nygma knocking out Dr. Chase Marion going "Nighty Night, Gorgeous." He actually does that, and I guess people were like, "No, this is gonna be too scary for my kids." Mm. So they cut that scene out, and the bat scene was cut out too because they were thinking it was too terrifying for kids. It's just because of the marks of Batman Returns. Yeah. It's really about Batman Returns destroyed a lot of parents' minds on Batman. Yeah. Even though
we got the Batman now on it.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of reversed their mind, going, "Oh yeah, this is what we want out of a Batman movie."
But let's get into the topic of the trailer.
Well, hold on. Where we at time-wise?
That is a very good question.
Hour, I think.
Yeah.
We could always talk about these cuts another day. We can save this for another. But I just want to pull up, they were talks of how he wants to.
But what do you want out of your Superman trailer?
What do you want out of it?
Honestly, I want just like shots of Lois Lane. I want Lois Lane narrating the trailer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to see Superman catch the train, that famous newspaper shot. Some like newspaper shots that was all over Metropolis over in Cleveland. And then I want to see at the end, I want to see a shot of this kaiju monster coming out. You don't even see who it is. You don't see who it is. It's just Superman doing this, and it's Superman ready to fight it.
I would love, because I love the idea of Lois Lane doing the narration. You hear the typing, she's typing in, she's giving this narration. He's stronger than, a locomotive.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Faster than a speeding bullet. Like, I want that element, and I kind of even want, give me that narration, then little hint of Williams, dun, but then it remixes into something new.
Into John Murphy's new
The John Murphy.
Yeah, like...
Or it's John Murphy doing the da-da-da-da, and then all of a sudden it is him doing that iconic Williams, but then it's a little bit different. I just want to see some Superman action. Really, I don't want to see every single character. It should be just... I just
want him saving the day.
I just want Superman.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there is going to be no such thing as a fantastic trailer.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think...
I mean, the Batman teaser... that dropped a long time, that dropped in 2020 during DC Fandom, is a fantastic trailer. Is Superman gonna be like that? No. But if it gets close to them like that, sure, I will be losing my mind and watching it 2,000 times, making theories, going, I don't need sleep, I need answers.
Yeah. And I think that's what James Gunn really needs to do is like, I would love to have a scene where Superman is playing with a Frisbee and Krypto catches it.
See, I have my
Perfect,
thoughts on what
perfect.
I want out of my trailer.
Perfect, here's the perfect towel. Yeah, it's the whole perfect towel. Oh, it's all shiny. There's Superman throwing the frisbee with, and then you hear, brrrr, and then it's the giant kaiju. Or it's Lex Luthor in a suit.
How cool would it be though? What if it was the shot of Earth Day? It's just him and Krypto sitting on the moon, watching the Earth, and then all of a sudden Superman hears something and it's, and then he's flying away, and then we're seeing shots of the movie now.
That'd be interesting. I would love it. I don't want it to be the moon. I would love it to be on the Daily Planet, and it's that same image of the cover from All-Star Superman.
Ooh.
Because I know you took inspiration from All-Star Superman. I know it's not going to be a direct adaptation.
It's for all seasons, Birthright,
Right.
and All Star.
I'm hoping he'll take one. I'm hoping he'll take that one thing from all.
The Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm hoping he'll take that one thing from All-Star Superman, which is the little girl ready to.
Oh, kill herself.
I want to see that.
Yeah. How awesome would that be if that was in the trailer?
That would be cool because that sets up a lot of people going, okay, there's hope in life. Like there's Superman. There is a Superman.
Opens up with just the girl standing on a building,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear just the whooshing of the kid, and him going, "You don't want to do that."
No.
Like let's talk, and then it's DC Studios.
Yeah.
That would be cool because that sets up that here is a different studio. Nothing is dark. Here's a studio that's going to give you a nice bright Superman that's not depressing.
All right. So my thoughts is I want to see the big giant kaiju fight. I want to see a little bit of Ultraman. Like I said, I do want the Lois Lane going faster than a speeding bullet, and it's like the dun dun dun, or more powerful than a locomotive, and instead of punching, it's dun dun dun. And it's like can leap buildings in a single bound, dun 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 dun, and then like you said, the remix. And I want to see Green Lantern. I want to see Mr. Terrific. I want to see Hawk Girl. I want to see Metamorpho, which I think we keep forgetting he's in this movie.
Yeah.
And then I just want to see all the heroes standing around going, like, yeah, you're Superman. Like, oh, that's not the weirdest thing we've seen all day. And you just hear, come here, boy. And I wanted it to be Guy Gardner of all the people to say is going, is that a flying dog? Like, him just questioning it of all things.
What are you going to say? Because I got something I want to say.
I want that for trailer 2. I just want Superman.
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
and
yeah,
then,
I feel like the ended on the crypto. Like, you see the flying shot of crypto, and it's just, is that a dog? And the trailer just ends.
but introducing the Green Lantern, how all that can be awesome for trailer 2. Like, give that story base. I mean, if he does it, oh, sweet, awesome.
Yeah.
Give me Superman for trailer 1. Trailer 2 is the story.
Yeah.
How cool would it be if they did this? They did, here's Superman, and then here's a new, and then during Super Bowl, they drop and it's Hawkgirl, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific, and then there's shots of Superman in it.
That'd be interesting. I actually have 2 ideas. I want to pitch these 2 ideas before I forget. So the one where he goes leaps tall buildings in a single bound. I want it to be Superman going, "No, I can fly." And then the other one would be, I want the second trailer to be a commercial for the companies that the superheroes are working for.
Oh, the Max of the Lore Tech and all that.
Yeah.
So I have an idea adding on to, Lois Lane narrating, but it's her writing it in real time as you see the montage of him saving people and doing all the super stuff. And I just want a shot of, again, that's just be an end shot and then the trailer ends. And she goes, all right, Clark, what do you think? He goes, eh. And he just goes back to doing his work, and it's like, and she's like, why did I ask for your opinion? It's just Superman.
Or what if it's
like it's him judging the article about him, but then we also know he's writing an article about Superman too, because we've seen the shot and set photo of it.
Or what if it's Lois typing away, all of a sudden a monster comes, and Clark is like, and Clark is talking to Perry, and Perry all of a sudden goes, "Great Caesar's ghost!"
Yeah, that's being said.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's Lois going, "I'm on my way. I'm on it, Chief." And then all of a sudden, you just see Clark just running and doing the. And then
here's
boom.
the thing: is he gonna go in a phone booth to do it?
Yes.
Or is he gonna run through the alleyway?
No, it has to be the phone booth. Bring the phone booth.
Either it has to be here's my problem. It's like, Can he do the phone booth simply because we don't have phone booths anymore?
Well, yeah,
I would love a
it
broom
takes place
closet.
in a.
I want it to be a broom closet.
You want the broom closet?
Well, it could be. Remember, it's supposed to not mirror our world. This is supposed to be a retrofuturism. So a telephone booth could still be a thing.
And here's my other big problem with a phone booth. You can see through the phone booth.
Yeah, but people don't pay attention. We've already seen that. He literally does it in a revolving door in Superman the movie.
Oh.
And you could see through that. Did you forget that, Todd?
Well, time travel. He went faster than his. He went around the Earth
and
the first time.
And then that's where we got the damn Jim. Oh, excuse me. That's a bad outfit. Woo!
I mean, that
Did you forget? Oh wait, yeah, someone did see him do it.
Well, he just used time. He
literally literally just goes, and they went, ta-da!
He kissed him.
Oh, yes, of course.
He just went around and started kissing everybody who saw it and be like, yeah. Which, by the way, James Gunn, you better reference the fact that his kisses ruin people's memories.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do that. I want that power. I want that power, and I want him to sneeze a galaxy. And I want Comic the Wonder Horse. I demand Comic the Wonder Horse the movie. I'm sorry, and I want that horse to want to sleep with Supergirl. I only want it to be for a minute. Like, you know, there's talks that Krypto's going to talk. I want an inner monologue with Comic the Wonder Horse going, man, I hate being in space with Supergirl. She turns me so much on. And that's it. That's it.
Alright, we ready for our closing?
Yeah, let's talk about Alan Tudyk, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he's voicing like 20 different characters in the show. That's all you need to know, really.
Yeah, he's like, but I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that he's going to be Clayface. He's Dr. Phosphorus. They announced him being William Magnus, which I think that's actually might be his live-action role.
And you want to know what's funny? Someone was saying, oh, yes, he's Disney's good luck charm. Too late, James Gunn got his hands on him.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk.
You screwed him over with Wish.
But the reason why I want to talk about Alan Tudyk because we're William Magnus. The Metal Men. Again, bottom of the barrel superheroes.
Well, only Batman, Brave and the Bold had mentioned them.
They die every once in a while and then they come back. So I'm like, what are you doing with the Metal Men? That's gonna be
What if he fights him in the movie and it's Alan Tudyk standing there as William Magnus going, like in his voice, dang it, Superman, I'll be back.
Well, he's not a villain; he's a hero.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So I'm honestly, again, I think that's
we don't know with the heroes working for companies from where it's looking like.
What is William Magnus running the company, and this is his team? You know, that's kind of like my thing. It's just like, what are you doing with the Middleman? What are you doing with Clayface? I know Clayface is going to be two different actors. I think Al Tunich is doing the
like the grunts and stuff. Yeah, the big monster Clayface.
Which honestly, I would love Al Tunich to actually be
Basil.
Yeah, I was about to call him Boris Karloff, which is technically what he's.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I would want him to actually play that role. I think he would be great in that role. Because I don't see Dr. Phosphorus coming into live action. I really don't.
If they did Dr. Phosphorus and they did it the way is, there will be Batman Beyond fans screaming now.
Well, they're already screaming.
Well, they'll scream harder now.
And my big thing too is like he's the type of character who's like he can't really go out in public without killing people.
I mean, like Dr. Manhattan, but
No. Let me. There's two different things. Dr. Phosphorus is living radioactivity.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan, that was propaganda to scare Dr. Manhattan to run away.
Mm-hmm.
If you read the comic book, it's not. He wasn't giving people cancer. There was a news. Ozymandias was actually telling people to say you're giving them cancer. So Dr. Manhattan would be like, "What the fuck? No, I'm not. Because why didn't Silk Spectre get cancer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah. But anyway, he still had his dong floating out in there.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Phosphorus, but we're gonna see how much his radiation actually. When he's fighting soldiers, because it looks like he's putting his hand through one of them, and they're not melting right away.
Yeah.
It's the shish kebab, which I really love that line.
Gives them all cancer. Just touch cancer.
That's what happens.
The cancer ray joke from Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's like, you hit him with the cancer ray. What cancer ray? Who made this thing?
What do you think they're going to do with the middleman?
I don't know. I want it to be a surprise on a few things.
Okay.
That's where my mind is with the DC. Like I don't mind like if stuff gets accidentally leaked or it's out there. But for some characters like that, I want to be surprised. I want to get that mentality of I want to go look up this character later.
What do you think?
I think there's gonna be more. I do think Metal Man's gonna end up getting like a TV show.
TV show?
I think he's gonna be getting a show. I'm waiting for the Challengers now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the one.
Yep. Challengers, the
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks, yes.
Oh yeah, the Blackhawks. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg. I still think it's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna happen, especially now that you announced Sergeant Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Can't believe I didn't mention them earlier. Because that would be a good crossover.
Well, now there's a plan. Now there's a huge plan with the DC. With the DC, instead of going, okay, here's 19 films announced and none of them got made. I get that.
Yeah.
So it will be a matter of time until Steven Spielberg comes back, or it could be someone else.
Yeah.
But no, I think Metal Man's gonna have a show. I think people are gonna like him because it's Alan Tudyk.
Yeah. Live action or animated?
I think animated. I think there's gonna be. I think a lot of the obscure stuff I think are gonna be animated, and then I think the ones that everyone's used to are going to be live. But as I think with the pop culture, everyone they like the characters so much and so much and so much, they will start becoming live action. We got to get used to them.
Mm-hmm. I think William Magnus is going to be live action. I think we're going to see him. We're probably going to see Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Because he likes to, William Magnus likes to, sleep with robots. But I think like everyone else is probably, I can see it being a nice animated show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Then we have Alan Tudyk showing up, being the good luck charm for the DCU.
I've loved him. I think he's been awesome in DC. I love him as Clayface and Harley Quinn. I love him in was it Powerless?
Powerless, yeah.
I loved him as Bruce Wayne's cousin.
Yep.
And he dressed up as Robin from the Schumacher suits.
I love Powerless. That was a fantastic show. We'll to talk about that one.
That was one of my favorite DC shows on NBC when it was coming out. And then I love him in Doom Patrol. I love Alan Tudyk.
I haven't watched Doom Patrol yet.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's on my to-do list.
Not even the you know what episode that everyone talked about.
Yeah.
Dude, I played the.
So, with Alan Tudyk being the savior of the DCU, I guess we'll call that a night.
Yeah,
call it a night.
Yeah, call it a night.
Best episode 2, yeah.
Yeah. We'll call it episode 2. Welcome, Alan Tudyk.
Welcome Alan Tudyk to the DCU.
Welcome to the DCU.
Next week we'll be talking all about Creature Commandos.
Yes, the first 2 episodes are coming out this week, and we're gonna review them. Got a lot of fun stuff planned for this show.
Yeah. Hope you guys like Superman. I have lots of plans for Superman.
Yay!
Yippee!
Lorenzo's probably gonna kill me when we get to the 60s.
Oh no.
It's Superman. Dun, 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 dun.
He'll be so happy when he gets into the 70s. He'll be like, yay!
Yay! When's the Beatles issue?
If anyone knew the reference I was making earlier,
I knew
good
that.
for you. You are a nerd. Bigger than Lorenzo.
Yes, very.
So yes. Well, thank you guys for listening.
I'm Adam.
I'm Lorenzo.
And I'm Gleek.
Oh God! No.
Then I'm Batman.
Bark. I'm Crypto.
In the trailer, you're Superman, you're Batman, and I'm Plastic Man getting punched in the face. Okay. I love our intro.
Yeah.
Our intro's awesome.
I gotta fix it up a little bit, but yeah, I still love it. But good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.
See you on the next one.